Hey guys, it's Nathan. Sorry I haven't made any videos in a while. It's been like Christmas time and I've been quite busy with family and also working on some other things with Notifia. But I've just from working on those interesting things, I've been doing a lot of like exploration within design, but particularly like design for conversion rate optimization, because I think I have quite a marketer's mindset, so I approach everything from like a marketing growth standpoint. And I've read quite a few like interesting books which have lent a lot more perspective into how to make good designs. One of them was refactoring UI that I definitely recommend reading. There are so many things that I've sort of previously looked over in terms of design, and I just never even considered before. So that has been a really good book. But this video is actually talking about building like MVPs in software, and how we do this within Notifia. Um, so yesterday, in one of my other companies, I came across so it's actually a colleague of mine was using like Drift chatbots, if anyone's had familiar with them, if anyone's familiar with them at all. But essentially, you're just adding sort of questions and engaging with visitors, and in the end, pushing them to sign up or trying to answer any questions that they may have. So really, it is like a lead generation tool. And I was talking to like the um, supposedly the best chatbot developer in the world. He had won awards from Drift, and he was saying that most of his clients are like tripling their conversion rate with these different tools, with these chatbot automation tools within Drift. They're called Drift bots. But in order to use them, it costs like $500 per month, which makes it like inaccessible for most people. And really, as a tool, I didn't think they were that complex to build. Um, so this is like an MVP of what I've started putting together. So this would be like the design. This just very quickly as well. The reason that it's all done in grey is this is a tip that I picked up in the book I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, refactoring UI. By designing in grey purely, just using grey color shades, it means that you don't trick yourself into thinking that a design is good purely because it has a nice like visual element. So by keeping everything in grey, I mean except for this bit which I've put in blue, but by trying to keep everything in grey, um, you can really like see if it is the design that is actually good or if it's just like the style and feel of it that you like. So it's very easy once you have designed everything without any colors just to go and add colors and add modifications to it later. So this is like a very like lean design principle as well. So yeah, this is why everything's in gray and there's no like styling or anything attached to it. We're just doing like a mock-up like um of how the page will look and what the functionality will be. So yeah, don't get too caught up in all of the details to start with. This is just like a sort of planning phase. And now whenever like I have an idea, the first thing that I do is just like literally just go straight into Sketch and start figuring out how we can put this together rather than having like meetings and talking about it. I'll just literally go straight into it and start putting something together, because it means that you're definitely not wasting any time. Either you've by going through each individual detail, you're getting you really sort of understand the like intricate details that need to be done. So design like forces you to do that rather than just coming up with an idea and saying that's brilliant and not actually going through any of the logistics of actually building it. You're going to come into a lot of like shock later. So by doing this, it means I can just like play around with it, come up with best design and flows, in my opinion. And after that, I'll go and send it to our team and to our developers. I have like I do like very basic programming, but I have like a very good understanding of technologies and how everything comes together, and how everything is like implemented. Although I don't really get my hands dirty with code anymore, but I could tell a developer how I would want this built, how I want the different APIs like coming together, and how everything would integrate. Which means once I've like planned this out, it's much easier for me to communicate with our developers and streamline the process of building widgets. But I'll just walk you through the flow that I've just built. So I was just like messing around here. So you would be able to like choose here like the type of message that you're sending. So this is just like a normal message, or you could send a question, or you could send like a survey. You could send a calendar link. You could send like an opt-in to get someone's email. You could also send to get someone's phone number. And yeah, so like there are a number of different ways that we could do this. And then originally, you can offer like predefined answers, or you can allow them to just type in the text box, and then if they choose yes, there's going to be like an autoresponder that will reply saying, I mean, this is just template text, but if they say yes, depending on what it's for, you can have a specific response for that. If they say no, then it's going to have a specific response to that. So you're immediately segmenting your users. And then here we have like a filtering system. So if response contains yes, it's going to filter it down here. And this is just like a quick growth hack that I came up with. So for example, we could ask them, what is your Instagram handle? This is just because I used to have an Instagram marketing business. So I was just sort of getting in the mindset of that. So if we asked them if they were interested in a free trial, or how many followers we thought they could gain per month, if that was the initial question, we could then ask, what is your Instagram handle? They then respond in text with their Instagram username. And then we could just set up an autoresponder to say, I'll review your account and get back to you in 2 minutes. And then with the Instagram handle that we have just received from them, we could send that in a webhook over to Integromat or over to Phantom Buster. And then we could actually wait for Phantom Buster to return us a response, which would then be sent back to our receiving webhook. I hope that makes sense. There's going to be a webhook that we're sending data to go and analyze Instagram profile that we've just been provided with here. And then once that has been analyzed, we could return the response to this webhook, and then we could literally build a message response saying, okay, hi, I've reviewed your Instagram profile. We think that we could gain you. We see that you have like 8,372 followers, so it's actually going to look like someone has done that because we know their exact follower count. And we could say like we believe we can get you like 1,500 followers this first month, or just like something along those lines. That's just like a quick real world example that I was coming up with. So yeah, this is like, and like originally before making this MVP, I had no idea about how to do it. So by going through the actual design flow, it forces you to come into the mindset of how do we actually approach this. So yeah, I just thought I'd give a little demonstration of how that is done. Like further down here, like and already I've come into issues that we're going to be facing. So, and I'm trying to come up with solutions for them. So in the flow mapping section, depending on the response contains yes, response contains no. I mean, that itself should be okay. I can just get no to come down here and we continue the flow from there. However, the issue that I've realized is if there's more than two possible answers, than two template answers here, if there's like yes, no, maybe, or if you're doing a survey and perhaps there's like 5 or 6 different possible responses, it's going to get a bit messy down here. So yeah, I'm just like, if anything, what I would do again in trying to be a lean business, I could just release it supporting a maximum of 2 responses for now, and then we gather some feedback from our users, and if there's like a lot of requests for people for us to release like multiple multiple different responses and flows, then obviously we know that we need to invest in building out a more complex solution for this. But there are a number of benefits to doing it by releasing with just two features. Number one, it's going to get released a lot faster, so it means that we're able to get it out there quicker, which our users generally would prefer to have. They would prefer to have this feature, even though it's not completely finished, but it does function rather than not having it at all. Also, it means that we can actually collect feedback on what are the things that people want to see improved and changed within the tool. And like lastly, perhaps no one requests us to release this like having multiple different flows there. I'm sure that some people will, but if there's not big demand for it, there's no point us wasting like one or like 4 or 6 weeks in engineering time building this out when we could be focusing on other things that a lot of our users want. So yeah, it's just good to just collect feedback from your visitors. So yeah, this is just, I just thought I'd share this little like process that I've kind of come up with. It's been working very well for us, and in terms of designing things in this way. And I think this is like a really interesting tool. Like something that I'm seeing quite a lot is like Notifia. I've sort of built it was just it's designed to be a very flexible solution that people have control over, and they're able to like implement their own like growth hacks and tools onto their website. But now I get a lot of response and requests for like me to actually provide these types of services for people, and like building out like obviously on the LinkedIn automation flows and email automation flows that I build out. Mostly it's people asking me to build them, which I think is fine. I have no problem doing that for people, but I've recognized that most people are requesting for a solution to be built for them. So with these like bots, what I could actually do is make templates, and like more generic templates, like there being like the within the Notify dashboard. So if I'm getting a lot of requests for things, obviously I can build out templates, but it's going to vary based on your business. But I could also offer this as a service to people. So if people wanted like custom growth flows with like API integrations into like custom things, like whether it's checking Instagram or going on Facebook, or building out like email automation flows directly from this, or scraping like LinkedIn accounts, all of this would be possible with a builder tool like this. So yeah, just yeah, quite an interesting widget that I'm working on. So I'd also appreciate any feedback. I hope that this video sort of made sense. I know it's a bit strange, like, because this design is halfway through my thought process, and it's almost like a mind map design. It's just me throwing out ideas and trying to like piece something together. But yeah, hopefully it makes sense and was beneficial. I've been doing a lot of like reading recently as well on not only on design, but I'm very interested in like conversion rate optimization, as I think most people know, and also like neuromarketing. So understanding how the mind works and responds to yeah, to different forms of like of marketing. So I've been like playing around a lot with that recently, and also on copywriting and sort of simplifying copy for increasing website conversion. So I'll make a few videos on that. But yeah, it's actually the new year today. It's the 31st. So for anyone who's watching this today, Happy New Year. 2020 is going to be a massive year for us, and I'm going to be putting out like YouTube is one of my primary focuses for 2020, along with Notify and releasing more features. So I'm going to be doing like a lot of like book reviews on things that I've read, and of course, if you have ideas for videos that you'd like to see, or guides, anything like that, you can leave a comment or send me a message, and yeah, I'm more than happy to take requests and make some yeah, make some videos that you want. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good new year, and I'll see you soon.